Warning. Now let me tell you something about Statistics Canada, a government agency, short form to StatsCan. They do all kinds of collecting of numbers. They run numbers. They've got your GDP, your unemployment insurance, your GDP per capita, your unemployment people, your immigration people, all kinds of numbers that they are always crunching about the country and the people and the market, so that what you get is something they can, I guess, sell. I'm assuming they sell it to businesses, so businesses can plan for more people or more people in this area or that area, something like that. That's what they do. They've always done this. That's our only organization. Now, they don't do a very good job because, did I say they're a government organization? Okay, so what they've been done in the past is a few years ago, 2018, 2019, they came out with, I think it was like 40,000 roughly, more jobs in the economy in a quarter. Well, ADP, data processing out of the States, payroll company out of the States, they do payroll in Canada. They said their numbers showed like a 15,000 decline, which is pretty drastic and pretty embarrassing for a company like StatsCan. Now, ADP explained they have 2 million customers. That's how they base their figures on in Canada. StatsCan, they phone 40,000 people and ask, is everybody in the household working or not? How many are working? How many are not? That's it. That's their data point. And they were wrong. And then the media just let it all go. Nobody, the next time unemployment was brought up, the next quarter, nobody came out and went to check what ADP's numbers were. They just went back to StatsCan. Were the numbers right? Nobody knows. Have the numbers been right since? Nobody knows. Is their numbers right on inflation? Nobody knows that either, because they're the only ones who do it. And like I said, they don't do a very good job. For example, getting back to unemployment. For example, getting back to unemployment. In the US, they break it down. Government payroll and non-government payroll. In Canada, if the government decides, because things they think are going to be bad, to hire a whole bunch of people in the summer, that's government jobs, and that's all lumped into the government, to the unemployment. So your unemployment goes down because the government paid all these workers. Whether it's short-term or long-term, it shows up as the inflation is lower. They don't break it down. They don't disseminate very much of the numbers. They do stats, but they do a poor job compared to other countries. They could spend a lot more time and do a much better job, but they just don't. Gets back to being that government organization. They were also caught back in 2014 doing the same thing, screwing around with numbers, making a mess, and again, they apologized for it. Didn't matter. They just, as I said in 2019, they did it again. And now recently, they just came out with, Canada just came out with that we had 1 million new people into the country. That meant the GDP of the country went up. But if you divide the gross GDP by the numbers that came in, the average per person went down. Individual Canadians got poor. That's what happened. So the government sits there and says, hey, we increased the GDP. Yeah, but people got poor by doing it the way you did it. And now, because our media is so crappy in Canada, because it's really propaganda by the government, paid for by the government, what you got now with the media is actually the CIBC bank. A bank came around, did a report, and exposed that there was 1 million more people in the country than StatsCan counted. StatsCan assumed a whole bunch of students just went home. 500,000 students went back home to their other countries, to their home country. But they don't know. They didn't check. They just guessed. And of course, they're going to redo the numbers. And again, next month, they'll come back with a revised amount of immigration. And then next year, the year after, they'll do something else. But personally, I don't trust any of their numbers. I think the organization smells I think they just do what they want to do because they've always done it. And there's nobody there, and there's definitely nobody in government that's pushing them to be better at what they do. They're not opening up anything, any new ways of doing anything, of calculating anything. They're not getting more information, farm payroll, various sectors payrolls. No, they don't do any of that. So I think StatsCan is a disaster, and it's the only disaster. It's not the only disaster we have, but that disaster is going to stay around. So just thought I'd let you know that. Quick little video. Hope you're having a good day. I'm out.